Alrighty, reminder, we are playing with a new Bluetooth connector. The Garmin R10 can direct Bluetooth to your PC with a software from GitHub. Someone has modified it, sent it to me. It's going to have higher spin, which this person claims will match what he's getting on his Unicore launch monitor, which reads the spin more accurately than the Garmin for all intents and purposes. So we'll see how it affects my play. We're playing the whites to give myself a chance, plus I'm in sandals. And we're at the Legend at Giants Ridge. I believe it's a Minnesota course, and we'll get the course designer up there during that flyover. But other than that, let's see how it goes. Higher spin, expect that. Shorter shots. And I'll let you know kind of a recap as we go through. We'll see you. Oh yeah, this is also the newest beta, so if there's anything new as far as gameplay or looks, feel, we'll go through those as well. Alright, like you heard there in the intro, we're trying an increased spin Bluetooth connector. What I will tell you right away is that is not a good shot to judge anything. But we do get some shots that we'll get the backspin, side spin, everything kind of bumped up a little bit. When you catch it clean like that and you get very little side spin, I'm not affected that much. But if you are to spray one right or left, it can get kind of exponential when it's just 1.4 or whatever. I mean, that should have been a birdie. That was a good shot. Nice little tight draw in there on two. We are at the Legend at Giants Ridge. You can see this giant footprint bunker here is a huge staple of the Giants Ridge. Look at the footprint in the ground. Giving a shout out to the design. That looked Healy. So there you go. We get a little out to in and open, and then we get side spin up, back spin up, and total length just destroyed. I've played with this a few times now, and there are things I like about it. I think if it could go lob wedge to 7 iron, and then from 6 iron, 5 iron, be like a little more dynamic through that range of clubs, I think that the software would be perfect. I don't know how to write that code. I'm not that person to do that. But the increased spin in the wedges seems to represent more of reality, whereas I'm not hitting good drives right now, but when I hit a good drive, it's just no matter what, it's going to be 1.4 increased backspin, which looks like sometimes that's just not the case with driver. It's just not going to bump up 40%. So if it was like 10% on driver, 15% on 3-wood, and it kind of rose up to the levels that are in these shorter clubs, then I think it would be pretty accurate. And of course, the person who wrote it was trying to do the math to get it as close to something that is actually reading spin. So hard to argue with that methodology, at least. There's a good example. One that starts a little bit left and just had a lot of side spin on it. And then if it has a lot, then the 40% is even more, and it is bumped up even more. So you get sort of like this curve approach to it, which if it was a little more per club or linear, I think that would be better. Alright, 160, par 3. Not playing horrible though, hitting some good shots. Able to play this fade, but just hit it way too far.
Here we go, 23 away, able to hit the pin and not go in, of course. I played a little bit earlier today before editing this, and I had one of the craziest chip-ins ever. The pin was on an absolute illegal location where no matter where you hit it within like 3 feet, it would just roll off the green. And so it was a par 5 that I reached close to in 2. Actually, I landed on the green in 2. Should have been a birdie. It rolls all the way off. Chip it up. Rolls all the way off. And then chip it up again. And I chipped it behind the hole and rolled it back in. So I'm going to have to make a short of that or something. It was pretty... it was like the only way you could make it and move on to the next hole. And I got it in the first try. Alright, pretty decent drive here on 8. Big time looper in there. Oh, not even close. Came up shorts in the fringe. We'll be chipping from there, 24. I think with these clubs it makes a lot of sense that you're able to get some more spin on there than might be estimated. The other thing is that I believe this connector was just doing a blanket multiplier on top of even ones that were red spin with RCT balls. I think it was still going on top. So like there's a pretty good 4,300 spin. I mean, I don't do that all the time, but sometimes. Alright, not really the side I wanted to be on. Brings in a lot more water, but hitting at 86 to a par 5. And there's an example of that wedge probably does have 10,000 spin, whereas before that might have read or estimated at like 8,900 or something like that. So that's what this is aiming to do. The side spin also gets bumped up and the axis gets bumped up. So like it can get a little out of control, I think, but overall, if you just take baseline backspin numbers and try and get them close to something that's reading your backspin, that's probably a good start. But the person who made it may not have the same launch conditions, etc., as someone else. So I don't know how you differentiate that and account for all those other variables. Alright, 11 coming up. Par 3, 116. Nice little short one. See if we can put one close here. I think we're playing the whites. Pulled it. Little chip from 18. Makes it into the circle. And we are +1 headed to the 12th. Cool view here over like the lake and valley. This hole's pretty cool. We gotta kind of cut around this hill. Looks like less than driver. That was weird. There really wasn't a lot of spin, but it took it quite a ways right. Good approach shot here. Lands it just right of the hole, and a par on the card. Zooming across a bridge over to the 13th, a par 4, 350. This course I would recommend for any golfing difficulty. It's wide enough where you can kind of go after it. You could play the back tees and make it a little harder. The greens aren't, they're not the easiest pin locations in greens. You got some bunkers and some hazards, but mostly everything's kind of pushed away from the holes, kind of showcasing everything. So if you go over here on this side, you might get in some trouble. 28 away. Going for the mega flop. Almost dunked it. Ran away from me. Bogey on the card. Headed to +2. Par 5 upcoming. Lots of bunkers up here in the landing zone for the drive. Why not? Directly in them and up against the lip. Good. And hit the lip. Good. And didn't quite get that contact, but we'll at least be hitting in for a par from about 107. Kept the hands in and left it short. Takes a weird right turn there. Starts going. Still going. Picking up speed. I think it's going to make us chip it. Yep. Alright, caught a hill. 22 away to save bogey. Yes. So +3 as we head to the 15th. Decent sized par 4 here, 420 with a little lake in the way. Not happy with that contact. Ball speed just plummeted. Nothing good about that. That one we can probably trust the spin numbers. You never really want to be 218 away on a par 4. Able to scoot it up there, but it's going to be outside of that 2-putt circle and be another bogey on the card. Legend at Giants Ridge, kind of getting the best of me here late in the round. Another par 5 coming up here on 16, 470 yards. Swing looks a little wonky, a little shoulder heavy. That looks better. Nice little controlled swing there, and setting us up for a little wedge in. Looking for 68. Make sure to like and subscribe if you made it this far in the round. That's just going to be another par on the card as we head to 17, which is over water 184. Ooh, not good. Barely makes it over. 25 remaining for the chip here. And that one curls through the edge of the circle and out again for a bogey. Let's head to 18. We're +5. Not the best round in the world. The Legend at Giants Ridge getting the best of me in this software, maybe throwing off a little bit of my attempts at making some shots, but just pounding this one up into the rough. I don't know if that's the right idea, but 82 remaining up the hill. This one's probably going to be short. It's going to come back. We're going to chip. I'm going to let current David give you the thoughts on the software and the round, and we will see you guys at the next course. All right, peace.
Got to be honest, the spin didn't bother me as much as I thought. I thought it was fair how I hit it. I did see the flight still pretty similar to what I was expecting. I didn't get away with some shots that maybe I was thinking the PXG clubs were just kind of knuckling out there and helping me. And if the Unicore's reading, certain percentages higher on shots than the Garmin, then I kind of believe that this is still accurate. So kudos to him. I'll play a couple more rounds with it. It didn't seem to bother me much, except I had no birdies. But I didn't think it was that thing's fault. There's a ton of false fronts and stuff on this course. The legend at Giants Ridge was very cool. The big footprint, the split fairways, some of the scenes. Definitely recommend. And we'll take a look at the stats. Then we'll get out of here and see you at the next course. Peace.